Hello guys, and welcome to another installment of A Computers and Technology, and in today's Garage Sale Find video, I'm going to try to level the audio properly so it doesn't sound like I am yelling the whole time, because I know that kind of ticked some people off last time, and I tried to fix it, so I'm going to try to get it right in this episode. And speaking of ticking people off, if there's something you didn't like in this video, please post a comment in the comments section, because I'm tired of getting dislikes with absolutely no feedback associated with them. So if there's something you really didn't like, please tell me so I can correct it in the future. As you can see, we have another garage sale find today, and I know you guys are really excited because some of you have been getting bored with my reviews. Trust me, I do get bored with doing consistent reviews as well. That's something I don't like to do. I try to switch it up every once in a while, but for the past couple weeks, I just haven't got anything. And yesterday, I went out, I hit some garage sales, and I got 4 desktops. So really excited. The first one that we are going to look at today is this Emachine. This is the Emachine. Give me a sec to take a look at the model number. This is the Emachine W3664 desktop computer. And today, we're going to check this thing out. And I'll just give you guys a little sneak peek of what is to come. If you've liked the Facebook page, then you have already seen this picture. But for those of you who have not liked the Facebook page yet, I'll go ahead and throw it up on the screen. As you can see, I also picked up an HP Tower, a Dell Dimension, and a Dell Inspiron with a Core 2 Duo inside. I'm actually really looking forward to taking a look at that system, and I'm thinking about turning that into my NAS. So that's probably going to be coming up next weekend, but today we're going to check out this Emachine, and without further ado, let's go ahead and do so, because I've noticed some kind of odd things right off the bat that I would really like to show you guys. So we're going to start from the front and work our way around the case. We're just going to take a quick look at the outside of the computer. There's nothing weird going on the front, but on the back there is something a little bit odd for a system like this. And by the way guys, HD images will be up on the archive site. Link will be in the description. So starting off in the front, you can see that we have a DVD slash CD writer. There's an expansion slot right here. We have 2 USB 2.0 ports on the front, audio jacks, the nice power button right here with the Emachine logo. We have the Emachine logo, and then right below that you can see all of our good old stickers. This was running Windows XP. Inside we have Nvidia graphics, I believe. That's the Nvidia 6100. I tried to do a little bit of research on the system, but that might not be right. When we go into the BIOS, we will verify that. And this machine has an AMD Sempron inside. Now, I have heard that some of these Sempron processors are actually dual-core processors with one core locked out, and that you can unlock that core in the BIOS. I'm not sure if you can do it on an OEM system. I think it has to be an aftermarket board. We'll see if we can do that with this system. I doubt we'll be able to, but if we can, that'd be something interesting to try out. So let's go ahead and move over to the sides. There's nothing much on the sides. As you can see, there's another Emachine logo right here. We got some ventilation on the bottom, and the other side is the exact same way. Some extra ventilation right here, and that's really about it. The exact same as the other side. Taking a look at the top. Yeah, nothing really there, and we'll flip it over to the bottom and see if all of the rubber feet are indeed intact. And as you can see, all 4 rubber feet are still there. So now we'll move over to the back and check out our I/O ports. Taking a look at the back, you can see all of our I/O ports and the exhaust vents for the power supply and the PC itself. Well, you know, I'll get to this in just a second. This is what I kind of found odd about this computer. But starting from the top, you can see the exhaust vent for our power supply. This is probably one of those cheaper Best Tech units. Once again, we'll find out when we open this thing up in just a second. You can see PS2 ports for keyboards and mouse. They look pretty worn down, so my guess is that they were used quite a bit. You can see a serial port right here, VGA out for our video parallel port for printing. We have 4 USB ports on the back, an Ethernet port right here. You can see our audio interfaces all the way at the bottom, and then towards the bottom of all the card slots, you can see that there is a modem right here. And right here you can see that this computer is running Windows XP Home Edition, which should still be installed on this. I'm pretty sure there's still a hard drive in here. I don't think it's been wiped, so I will have to do that after this video ends in order to sell this off on eBay. Yes, this is one of the systems I do plan on selling. The only one I plan to keep is that Dell Inspiron, because that's going to make a pretty beefy little server. But the odd thing I was talking about is right here in front of you guys. It looks like there's some sort of fan filter right there, and I've never seen an OEM put any sort of filter in a PC. Now, so if you guys know, like, is this something that this computer was equipped with from the get-go, or did someone add this in? Which makes me, you know, even more anxious to take this apart and see if someone's made some modifications to the inside of this thing. But there is a fan filter, and what's even stranger is the fact that this is where the exhaust fan should go. So is it blowing air out through the fan filter? Like, there's not really a point in that, is there? It's got to be sucking air in, or else there wouldn't really be a point in using a filter. So
That kind of threw me off. It's still throwing me off, and I'm just going to take the system apart because I really want to see what that's doing.
So to take the side panel off, it only looks like there are 2 screws holding it in place, and when I do take it off, I expect a bunch of dust to come out because the outside of the case does seem quite dusty. This is going to have to be cleaned before it is shipped off because it's just absolutely nasty. So let's go ahead and remove both of these screws and see if the side panel just slides off, which I hope it does.
So there's not even a fan on there, and that makes a little bit more sense since the air would be pulled through the back and into the CPU cooler, but doesn't really look like it helped too much because that is full of gunk and junk and everything else, but the fan still spins freely, so that's a good thing. And the weird thing is they didn't bother to put any sort of filters on the front. As you can see, it's just graded right here. All the air coming through there is unfiltered, so it seems really odd that they even wasted the money to shove a cheap fan filter on the back like that. And once again, the previous owner might have done this. It might not be stock. So if anyone knows if this is stock or not, please post a comment in the comments section because I just find that really odd. Now we're going to start from the top in the inside and work our way down. As you can see, we have a 160 watt power supply right here from Delta. We have our heatsink for our AMD Sempron CPU. And then right below that, I guess we'll go next to that. We have 2 sticks of, I believe, 512 megabytes of RAM. I'm going to take that out right now just to verify that. There we go, 2 dusty sticks of DDR RAM for a total of 1 gig of RAM in this system. So that means this is probably going to be pretty usable. I mean, I've never used a Sempron processor before, but it shouldn't be too bad. It's probably similar performance to the Pentium 4 at like 2.5 gigahertz or something like that. I think this one's clocked around 2.1 gigahertz. Once again, guys, we won't know until we go into the BIOS. And the nice thing about this board is that it is equipped with a decent amount of expansion slots. As you can see right here, we have a PCI Express X16 slot, PCI Express X1, and then 2 traditional PCI slots, one of them with that modem card in it. And we'll just take a little trip off the tripod so you guys can get a better look at everything. It looks like all of our electrolytic capacitors on this board are in good shape. None of them are vented or bulging, so that's great. I don't have to pull this board out and replace any capacitors because that's an absolute pain in the butt. As you can see, interestingly enough, this board is equipped with SATA, and I believe this is actually SATA 2. That drive hooked up to that SATA port is a Western Digital Caviar drive, 160 gigabytes in capacity. And you can see above that is our DVD drive using an IDE port, and right next to that, you can see our incredibly dusty power supply. I might have to clean that before I turn this thing on because it's probably just going to spit out dust all over the place, and I don't feel like cleaning up after it. I think I've touched on everything at this point. I'm going to give you guys a closer look at everything using ghetto macro mode, which is basically just pulling out a magnifying glass and putting it in front of the lens, so you guys can see all the serial numbers and all the numbers on the chips and everything. So if you're curious about that, I will put that up in just a minute so you guys can actually check that out. At this point, I have everything plugged in except for the desktop itself, and I'm going to power it on for the first time on camera. So we're going to plug it in 3. Oh, never mind. We're not doing that. I'm all tangled up. All right. In 3, 2, 1. No pops, no bangs. All right, that's good. So I'm going to turn it on using the soft power switch. Oh, there we go. We have life. And is the monitor on? Come on. Woo, it looks like it is functional. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like there's too much information in the BIOS. I already went through everything, and there's nothing super juicy as far as system information is concerned. So it looks like we're going to have to go to the device manager in Windows, which isn't a big deal. But speaking of Windows, yes, there is Windows installed on this machine, and it looks like the person tried to wipe all of their stuff off the computer, but they failed miserably because it's all still sitting in the recycling bin. Once again, I'm not going to touch it. I'm just going to wipe this system after we go into Windows to get all of our system system information, because this computer would be much better off running something like Linux, lightweight. I just blundered right there, but a lightweight Linux distribution would suit this much better. So I'm going to go ahead and exit without saving, and we will boot into the Windows installation on the system. Whoa, wait a second, that was odd. Did I see 2 Windows installations on this machine? Because I'm pretty sure I just did. Okay, so my eyes did not deceive me. It looks like there's 2 separate partitions with 2 separate versions of Windows installed on this machine. I think when I booted into it initially, I booted into the professional version, but the Home Edition version is also still installed on here. So that's kind of odd. Maybe it was for 2 different users, like a husband's and wife's version or something like that. That's my best guess. But let's go into the Home Edition and see if that actually works. That's kind of strange. It looks like this was unfinished and kind of just left on the hard drive without being deleted. So, yeah, I think I'll just delete this partition. It's probably not doing anything. I'm not sure why they even left it on here. So I'm going to go back into that professional version. Here we are in that installation of Windows XP Professional, and I'm actually really liking this desktop background. It kind of reminds me of the Xubuntu background because of all the blues and purples right here. But now I'm kind of rambling. I know you guys probably don't care. But all of the stuff is in the recycling bin that I think they tried to get rid of. There's nothing like dirty or gross or anything on this PC. Lots of school assignments and lots of old pictures. I'm not going to do anything with. Actually, no, I'm just going to delete that crap right now. But it's funny because people come up to me all the time and they're like, yeah, I need to remove my stuff from my PC before I give it to you. And that's probably exactly what they're doing. They're probably putting it in the recycling bin and not even bothering to empty the recycling bin. So it does absolutely nothing. I mean, and even if you delete it from the recycling bin, it's still super easy to grab all of your personal information off it. So that's why you have to grab something like DBAN and wipe the drive over and over and over again to make sure none of that is left on there. Or you can just take the drive and smash it, but I'd rather you not do that because then, I don't get a hard drive along with the computer, and that makes things even more of a pain. So I've just been using this for a little bit. I haven't gone online or anything, but overall the system feels surprisingly snappy. As you can see, everything opens within a reasonable amount of time. Graphics capabilities aren't great, as you can see. I'll drag this window around here and it kind of lags behind, but I have Device Manager open. Actually, I don't have Device Manager open. I thought I did, but there we go. Now Device Manager is opened. Then we can just take a look at some of the system information. You can see our hard drive right here. I already went over that. There is indeed a GeForce 6100 inside this system, or on that board anyway. And I'll go down here, open up a couple other things so you guys can check them out. Nothing too interesting. Most of this stuff is a given, so yeah, I'm just gonna go down here. We'll pop open all of these tabs so you guys can take a look at that, and I'm just gonna close out and we'll go do other things. I'm not gonna install games or anything on this system. It's probably not gonna be able to do that. It can barely handle these windows. As you can see, yeah, it goes all over the place. I currently have it set to the screen's max resolution, which is 1366 by 768 pixels at 32 bits of color depth. I'm just going to close out of the GeForce 6100 management window, and we'll close out of here. And I'll just navigate around the system real quick. As you can see, there's not really any applications installed. We have Internet Explorer. What else is here? Snowy Treasure Hunter. What is that? Is there some sort of game installed? That looks like a game. Inserts. Huh. Wait a sec. Emachine Games. Was that actually a thing? You gotta be kidding me. Okay, so it looks like that's one of those pay-to-play kind of, spammy crapware programs that we don't want on here. That's kind of weird. I didn't know eMachines had a game client. Interesting. Very interesting. There's nothing really on here. I'll just try to pop open a couple applications. Then I have to tear the system down and clean everything out because it is absolutely disgusting. I cannot ship it like that because it is completely gross. Now I'm going to wipe the hard drive and we'll throw a Linux distro on here and see how that turns out. It's probably going to be a lot better as far as performance is concerned. I'm trying to find anything else that looks interesting, and there's nothing here that looks super interesting or anything. Oh, it looks like I'm going to have to blur that out. But as you can see, opening up the computer's property, yes, this is
Windows XP Home Edition, interestingly enough, even though it said it was professional and the boot screen. Well, that's a little bit odd. Registered to Chuck, not gonna say the last name. And then we have our system specifications below here. It looks like whoever owned this before did go to ODU, because I see ODU in a couple places, like right here. And that's funny, because I go to ODU, so that's interesting. I'm about 10 minutes into cleaning, and I have gotten most of that dust out of this system. I removed the front faceplate, which is right here, and just put a vacuum to the front of this thing because it was nearly completely clogged. Same thing with the back. As you can see, that air filter is nice and clean now. Then you can see our CPU right here, which I'm about to take out. I'm going to take all this old thermal paste off and apply some of this cheap Banggood thermal compound to it. And I'm really happy with this stuff. I'm actually almost out, so I should probably order some more off Amazon. This is the cheap stuff. It gets the job done, though. It's only like $2 on Amazon. If you want to check it out, the link will be in the description. So I'm going to take the processor out. Actually, I'll go ahead and do that right now. And we're going to bring it over to the sink to be cleaned. I need to grab a bottle of isopropyl rubbing alcohol, but in the sink already, I have that nasty old heatsink. You can see that that is completely clogged, and it really needs to be cleaned out. That's really nasty. And the fan as well needs to be cleaned. So that's next on the list. Of course, all I had laying around was 91% isopropyl rubbing alcohol, and let me tell you guys, this stuff is strong. Like, I wanted to cry while I was applying it to everything to use it to clean all that nasty old thermal paste off. But as you can see, heatsink is cleaned and needs a little bit of time to dry, but that looks like brand new. And then we have our Sempron processor right here, which has been cleaned as well, but the camera is not in focus, so give me a second to get it in focus. There we go, AMD Sempron. So that's the processor for you, and I have the heatsink fan right here. Got that almost as clean as I would have liked. It's still a little bit dusty under the fins. I'll probably grab a Q-tip and scrape all of that off, but so far, everything is pretty much ready to go. I'm going to throw it back together, power it on, and make sure I didn't break anything, and then we're going to install a Linux distro, probably Xubuntu. That Banggood thermal paste is on, and we are almost done inside the system as far as routine maintenance is concerned. And let's just make sure I didn't cook anything. Come on, give me the post screen. Let me see the post screen. Something? Anything? There we go. Okay, so system is ready to go. I'm going to put this back together, and then we will install a Linux distro on it. Alright, so the system is back together, and here is what we're doing. So right now, I am just nuking the drive. I want all the previous owner's information off this machine. I want it long gone. And then over here, I am burning a CD which is going to have Xubuntu 16.04 on it, and that's nearly done. I got some other things to do, so while I'm waiting for this, I'm going to go do said things and then come back and finish up with this machine. Almost ready to ship, just got a couple more things to do, like installing Linux, and then I will be good. And by the way, yes, DBAN is inside the DVD drive, so the DVD drive is indeed functional. While DBAN is still running in the background, there are three things I want to touch on before I forget. The first one is that the AMD Sempron processor is running at 2.1 gigahertz. Yes, we did go into Windows and see that, but I didn't actually say it out loud, and some of you might have missed it. The second thing is that that motherboard does have SATA 2 ports on it, and the third thing is I forgot. I got it. Okay, so the third thing is, according to the date stamp on the system's case, this computer was manufactured around 2007. I'm going to try to wrap things up now because the video is going to be a bit lengthy at this point, but as you can see, I have a fully updated install of Xubuntu 16.04 on this system. Yes, I did finish everything last night. The hard drive is wiped and the operating system is on here, but I didn't have enough time to record what I wanted to, so it is the next day. The system is pretty much ready to go, and as you can see, just for reference, we are using the Nvidia proprietary drivers on this system, so this should be using the system to its full potential. I'm going to close out this and we'll just navigate around the operating system. It's surprisingly snappy. It did take a little bit to boot. It took a little over a minute to boot up. I mean, it's not horrific, but it's not super fast either. I'll just go through the file manager right now. As you can see, there's nothing really here. I did install some applications, so we will check that out. Some games in particular, so that would be really cool. This is really more of an office machine in my opinion. Yeah, but it can do some light gaming. It's not too great at video streaming, unfortunately. We're stuck with standard definition video on YouTube, and then we'll get to that in just a second. As you can see, I have our Office program open, the equivalent of Microsoft Word, which is LibreOffice Writer, and we'll just type in that good old generic phrase, hello, YouTube. And I'll manipulate the font, play around with it. As you can see, pretty responsive, pretty smooth, decent little system. I'm definitely liking this. You know, if I didn't have that Core 2 Duo machine, this would actually make a, well, it would probably make a pretty decent little NAS system or a NAS system. So I'll close out this, we're done, don't save. And we'll just open up Midori and go to YouTube. Also hit a couple other sites as well. So, oh, you know what? This was the last stuff I was browsing. As you can see, eBay's up. I'll just leave eBay up. I was on the Ubuntu forums looking for some information. We're going to go to www. What? No, Midori, I don't want to do that. Okay, www.youtube.com, and it's already right here. And I'll just navigate to my channel. As you can see, everything loads up pretty fast. It's definitely pretty responsive for a single core processor. Performance is, you know, somewhat close to a Pentium 4 Prescott running at 3 gigahertz with hyperthreading enabled. So performance is pretty decent. It's surprisingly decent for a single core processor. Whoa, what the? All right, now that we're out of that, that was a interesting ad that they flashed there. We'll open up one of my videos. And we'll just play back in standard definition, and it does play at the full 30 frames per second. When you bump it up to 720p, we do drop some frames there, so I'm gonna try to do that, but it's not gonna be too great. I'm just gonna maximize it. There we go. And yeah, that's my old intro from like from a year ago, I think. So there we go. We are playing this back in 360p. And that's pretty smooth. There is some tearing here and there. And I'll just try to bump this up to 720p. And yeah, that looks better, but as you can see, the frame rate has dropped to like 10 frames per second. It's watchable, but it's not enjoyable, that's for sure. And Midori just crashed, which really isn't something caused by the system. Midori crashes all the time, no matter what system I am using it on. It seems like it has trouble with the latest 16.04 LTS release. They need to do some work on that because it is definitely plagued by some pretty annoying issues. www.computersandtechnology.com. There we go, so I finally made it to my site. Midori has not crashed, and it looks like we are good to go at this point. I don't hate Midori or anything. I really like Midori, but I think I might have to switch this out for Cupzilla or something like that because I don't know. It's kind of annoying how often Midori crashes on the latest LTS release of Ubuntu. Here we go. Scrolling is nice and smooth. We have 2 tabs open right now. Well, now we do. 2 tabs open, and I'll just pop open a couple more tabs. We'll check out performance, and I'll move on to some games because games actually play back pretty well on this older system. So I was just checking out the multitasking capabilities of this machine. I have a couple tabs open in Midori. I have an instance of the file manager open. I have an instance of LibreOffice Writer, the LibreOffice Calc application, terminal open, along with the task manager just to see what our resource usage looks like. And it's actually not too bad on Xubuntu. We're using about 60% of that 1 gig of memory, so not really too resource intensive. 1 gigabyte of RAM in this system is definitely going to be enough for basic office tasks like this and some light multitasking. So we'll close out of all this, and then we will move on to checking out how this system can take some games. I was messing around with some games last night. Both of them I really enjoyed playing. One is some sort of, I guess, kind of pinball manipulation game, and the other one is an open source version of Quake. So both of those are really neat. I'm going to demo both of those right now. And by the way, audio does work on this system. I just haven't turned the speakers on. I'm going to do that right now, and they are on and good to go. I'm going to place it close to the mic, so that might be a little loud. I might have to change the levels in editing. So let's try this one. This one is called Neverball. And here are just some of our graphics options. I'm going to move the speaker away or turn it down because it is a little bit loud. There we go.
Select.
Yeah, let's do easy. I'll take easy. And let's just try the first map. I just want to demo the graphics capabilities, not really too concerned about gameplay.
Set. Go.
So with this, basically you just have to grab all the coins, and as you can see, I'm not very good at it. Woo! It is fun though. Oh man. But focusing kind of away from the game and more on the graphics, you can see that we're getting a pretty smooth frame rate. That's definitely at or above 30 frames per second. There's no vertical tearing in the screen, so that's very nice. I mean, it's just a pretty, it's not really an intensive game graphics-wise, but, yeah, performance is okay. Alright, whoa. Whoa. Oh, I didn't want to do that. Alright, so I'm not going to spend too much time on this. You saw that graphics were pretty decent on that, so I'm going to exit this. No, I don't want to retry. You know, I'm just going to close out this. And we'll go to that Quake alternative, which I might spend a little bit more time on because it is pretty neat. I enjoyed it. But I have to say, I absolutely suck at this, so don't judge me. Setup, we want to go to... Alright, so here are all of our graphics settings. And I'll close out of that. Woo. And once again, I'm garbage at this game, so I might edit it out. I might edit all this out until I actually get a kill, and then put that up there just to make me look good. Whoa, where'd you go? Did I kill you? As you can see, the frame rate is pretty smooth. It's really smooth, actually. Whoa, where are you? What? Where are these? Oh, God. Oh, whoa. Man, I disintegrated. Yeah! Yep, definitely editing that in there. Actually got a kill. Oh, I just killed myself. Alright, well, I'm probably only going to get one kill throughout this entire game. But I have to say that, yeah, frame rate's definitely smooth, and the system's pretty quiet, even though we're playing the game. I can't really hear the system over the game sound, so pretty quiet little machine. Yeah! Alright, that's going in there too. Oh crap, oh crap, oh crap, oh crap. Where are you? Whoa, what? Alright, I'm tired of getting absolutely destroyed. I'm gonna call it for the gameplay. And finally, I just need to test that old hard drive to make sure everything is okay with it, and everything is a-okay with that drive, so this is ready to go. Alright, so that's going to be about it for this video. Don't forget to check out June's giveaway, guys. There's about 2.5 weeks left for entry, so you guys still got some time if you haven't entered yet. If you like this video, drop a like on it. If you didn't like it, please tell me why. Now, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, you can go ahead and post a comment in the comment section. Of course, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't subscribed yet. I almost lost it there. If you want to support me, you can use my Amazon or eBay affiliate links. You can also support me by checking out my Patreon. All those links will be in the description. And of course, please do not forget to drop a like on the Facebook page if you have not yet. That's going to be about it for this video, guys. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next installment of A Computers and Technology.